What is the best hint you can give to a foreign company entering to the Russian market?
Well, first of all, I think that giving some advices to the Finnish companies is a little bit more easier than to any other country in the world, because we are neighbors, and of course I hope that Finns know Russian culture and know Russian ethnicity a little bit better than the other countries. Still, of course, if you wanted to be successful in this market, you do need to examine it more. And due to the situation which is now in Russia, due to the just increasing investment climate in Russia, which is obviously much better than it was 10-15 years ago, I do recommend not to go only to Moscow, St. Petersburg, these very well-known centers. I do recommend to go further. I do recommend to go to 83 regions of Russia which now exist according to the map. So I would give you just one example, some small example. The city called Kaluga, which is about 250 kilometers from Moscow, they just started 4 years ago car cluster, which now includes already Volkswagen, General Motors, Volvo, and now they became famous all over the world due to the investment policy, which is actually goes with the help of the governor of Kaluga. And I can give you another dozen examples of the same. So that's one point. Definitely, you are expected in Russia. That's no doubt about this. The second issue is, of course, that this is a little bit different philosophy. Differs from probably Finnish psychology, and you do need to understand what kind of Russia, what is their culture of Russia, what is the language of Russia, trying to be more understandable not only by the authorities but also by the population, because you do need to avoid of any conflicts with the people who would work probably on the factory which would be constructed. I can give you some probably negative examples which occurred in St. Petersburg several years ago. For example, again on Ford factory, when there was a strike and there was a conflict in between management of the factory and Russian employees. So that is why you do need to understand what kind of country you're coming to. Then you need to understand that if you have an understanding based on the period of the Soviet times, you do need to understand that it's a different country. And especially the young generation, starting, let's say, from the age of 10 now, using social networks. And of course, a lot of things are now, as well as in the rest of the world, are moving from the classic media to the social networks. But again, Russia has its own unique style, because, for example, we are not so very well known in Facebook, but for example, Russia has its own social network called Vkontakte, which unites absolutely the whole population of the country, at least those who use internet, which is about 60% of the population of Russia. And again, that's a great instrument, that's a great influence that you need to take in your mind if you're coming to Russia. Mm-hmm.